Welcome back to the adventures with the Florida Powerboat Club. This is club founder Stu Jones in the Pompano Beach studio, along with our producer Ryan, and we are just plowing through this content from the Key West Poker Run 2023 edition. Past the halfway mark now as we reach into episode number 6 with feature coverage of the event right where we left off. That was the Thursday run where we had a tremendous number of boats, probably 150 or more boats running today from Miami down to Key West. So we're going to pick it up there, guys. Before we get started, let's thank our sponsors. Our presenting sponsor for the FPC 2023 series of events is Mercury Racing, celebrating 50 years of wide open. And by these sponsors in alphabetical order: Big Thunder Marine, Blackwater Boats, Cigarette Racing Team, Concept Boats, Deep Impact Custom Boats, Doug Wright Powerboats, Fountain Powerboats, Midnight Express Boats, Nortec High Performance Boats, Performance Boat Center, Plantation Boat Mart, SD Marine Group Isla Morada, along with Statement Marine, our local performance boat builder from right here in the Tampa Bay area. And we're going to get right back to Grove Harbor Marina, one of my favorite segments, guys, and that's where we get to introduce the teams. And it's Thursday morning on a beautiful day in November, so let's say hi to everybody getting ready for their first poker card before they head out on the waterways of Biscayne Bay. And it looks like Matthew Lazinski is going to get things kicked off all the way from Maryland with this big formula called Team Big Chief. And when I say big, guys, check it out. It is a Formula 40 SSR, got about a 12-foot beam. You're going to see some big power hanging off the back, those Mercury Racing 400Rs, a total of 4 of them. Matthew's been enjoying this boat now with the club for at least a couple of years. He's done a lot of poker runs with us. Nice to see him and his crew back for Key West. And let's welcome back veterans on this Key West run every year. This is Mike and Holly Riggs' team, NSF. This is a new boat for them, Fountain 38 SCX. And they've got some newbies riding along with them, Mike and Tiffany Parker. But really, when I say they're veterans, you know, Mike reminded me in his video bio, they've been doing this run since 2012. So that's over a decade. So thumbs up to this team. They usually come down with a big crowd. Matt Raymond in the group from Sanders Ford. Great representation from the Carolinas. Well, that was North Carolina, and now we've got South Carolina. This time it's Randy Cochran, his first mate Hope, in this big 52-foot MTI, a boat that's been on this poker run many times. Not under Randy's ownership, but previous owners have brought this boat on this run a number of times, and it's a 2014 model, so almost 10 years old now. Got a fun crew on board. First mate Hope, along with Pat, TT, Johnny, and Brooke. Now, here's that guy we hear about all the time. Yes, indeed, it is Matt Raymond with his first mate Anne Marie on board in this 48-foot Fountain Express. Again, a team from North Carolina that has done this event for as many years as I can remember on a number of different boats over the years, but seem to be loving this 48 Express that used to be powered by big diesels, but they had it converted to an outboard boat at one point, had 4 motors, and Matt said, well, that worked out well, but we need one more. So now they changed the 5 Mercury outboards, and they need all that power because check out the crew. They've got about 18 people on board. And where do you put all that luggage? Well, you put it in the engine compartment where those big diesels came out. A great-looking rig. And, of course, there's a lot of New England teams here, Gary and Nancy Robertson among them. They're from Sanford, Maine, but they do have a home in Lake Winnipesaukee. A great track record of doing this Key West poker run, and mostly in Nortec. It's a 43, then it was a 527. Now they're enjoying this brand new 400 Super Sport. Check it out. 4 Mercury Racing 500Rs. Wow. And nice to see this team return, this Gerald and Kate Rufinock from Eastern PA in this very cool-looking Pursuit. It's the only one we have in the club like this. Got triple Yamaha outboards, and just look at all the space this sport cruiser has. A big open bow, nice cabin down below. I actually hung out with them on this boat once on one of the poker runs back, I'd say 3 years ago. What a great couple. Nice to see them return and join us for the Key West poker run. And now getting a chance to take a closer look at this 42 Mystic Skip Cripps from South Carolina and Team SMFC. We saw some video of this team on previous episodes going through Jewfish Creek and some high-speed running shots, but they are really enjoying this 42 Mystic. They've only owned it now for a few months. Did a couple of poker runs during the summer with it and made their way down here to Key West. So it's the first actual Key West poker run with us. And nice to see this boat stayed in the club. It used to belong to Ray the Plumber from Long Island. And now a special welcome to Nikki and Rick Bomer from Missouri, Team Free Spirit, 38-foot Renegade Open center console. And I like their video bio stressed that Captain Nikki, that's right, she is the captain and he, Rick, is the first mate. Now, it's not their first time on the Key West Poker Run, but it is their first time bringing their own boat on the run. They've got a fun crew on board, so let's say hi to everybody. They've got Josh and Heather O'Connor, Frank and Raquel Oropeza, along with Chad and Nikki Robertson. Well, guys, I'm glad you got all together, and that's why you want to own a center console, guys, so you can bring all your friends from Missouri and come on down and enjoy the Key West Poker Run in the middle of November when it's already getting cold on Lake of the Ozarks. And I'm happy to see this couple enjoying their brand new Nortec 390 Sport. Jack and Jennifer Kudo from Maryland, a team trimmed out, and we're going to get a closer look at this beautiful 390 Sport. They just got the boat new around April, I want to say. Earlier in the year, they did the Tampa Bay Poker Run with us. That was their first poker run event with the new boat, and they've been busy all summer long doing events. So nice to see them return here in November to join us for Key West. Now let's welcome back Mike and Elena Chisuli from New Jersey here. But now with this new boat, well, of course, Mike still has a MTI 390X. But admittedly, that is not the best boat if you want to bring all your friends. So we decided to give this GALEON a try, this GALEON Sport model, big open bow rider and a nice cabin below. More of a day boat, but look at all the people you can fit on board. 8, 10, 12 people comfortably. But it's got some decent power, as you're about to see. Twin Mercury 600 V12s. Plenty of power. That's 1,200 horsepower to push this cruiser. And the cruiser really does have some cool features. Look at all the glass on the boat. So you're in the cabin and you've got a beautiful view in every direction, but yet got enough speed to do a poker run. Congratulations, Mike. And a very special welcome back to Paul Eisen and his first mate, Tiffany. They are from Kentucky, and this is Team Liquid Assets. It's a brand new 2024 42-foot cigarette Auroras with 4 Mercury Racing 500s and a boat that was on display at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show just a few days earlier. And since then, now Paul and Tiffany have opened up their new cigarette dealership in Kentucky. They did their formal announcement and launch at the Katawa Cannonball Poker Run event in Kentucky just about a month earlier. So congratulations to this couple, and also great news, they did get engaged on the Miami Boat Show Poker Run at Hawks Cay Resort, and that wedding is going to take place in October, coming up real soon. And here's a couple we've all gotten to know over the years. It's Brett and Allie Lasso from South Carolina in their 40-foot Mystic Cat. And they have been very busy with the club over recent years. Brett got started back about 5 or 6 years ago on the Emerald Coast Poker Run with a big fountain ICBM, old school black fountain, if you guys remember that boat. Since then, he got himself a Nortec 3600 Super Cat, and he rode that thing loud and proud because it was one of the loudest boats in the club. But not so loud anymore with these Merc 400Rs. And it's another big Nortec. This time it's a Nortec 450 Sport. Daniel and Chelsea Beck from Oklahoma in Team Steel Hookin. I'm guessing that's got to mean he owns a bunch of tow trucks, right? Or maybe cranes. I don't know. Come on, Daniel. You're going to have to straighten me out next time you see me. But check out the beautiful graphics with the gold and the dark brown metallics. Of course, 5 Mercury Racing 400Rs. Guys, this is an incredible machine. And who would have thought that, Nortec would be building such a beautiful 45-foot open center console with 5 outboards. It was only 2012 when they started building center consoles. That's only 11 years ago. They've come an awful long way for sure. And I would echo the same thoughts here for Team Cigarette Racing. This is the factory team with Christy Rue is up front getting ready to reach out with Mom to reach out and grab the card. And this is not the flagship, would you believe it? This is the 52 Thunder. Of course, the flagship of their center console fleet is the 59 Tirana. But I don't think Cigarette knew, I don't think Skip knew back then when he started building his first center console in like 2006, 2007, was a 38-foot Cigarette Top Gun that was converted to a center console with twin, I think there were 300 outboards. But look at how far they've come with this big 52 Thunder. An amazing build. Look at the interior and the cockpit of this boat. And an incredible setup here of rigging with 6 Mercury Racing 500Rs. A very big and beamy boat, so it's going to be on display at the Key West Poker Run Village at the sponsor dock. So thanks to Cigarette Racing Team for continuing their sponsorship with the club and putting on a great show. And a very special welcome now to Roger and Lazara Oars from Miami here in their 42-foot MTI, Champagne, Miami. Well, that certainly makes sense with that nice metallic color, champagne metallic that they have with the black bottom. Classic styling, if you ask me, guys. Just a real simple but clean look for the boat. They've even got matching shirts. And, of course, 4 Mercury Racing 500Rs. Guys, that is the ultimate poker run package there. And now time to welcome Greg and Jennifer Cannell from Legend Marine Group, one of our sponsors. And they have the lovely FPC Amy, that's right, Amy Plumstead, our hospitality manager, riding along today, grabbing the first card. Of course, they're still legitimately entered in the poker run. Even though Amy got the card, she's got to turn it over to Greg. So I don't think she can play the handout. But interesting that she managed to get a bikini that totally matches the lime green accents on this Nortec 390 Sport. That was no accident. I think she knew all along. But nice to have Greg and Jennifer back. They've got their crew joining them. They're going to be working the Nortec display at the Key West Poker Run Village, and their 390 demo will be at the sponsor dock. And it's almost going to be called a classic soon, but Frederick Purin has this absolutely beautiful 36 Cigarette Gladiator. Keeps the boat at TNT Marine Center. It's got Mercury Racing 525s. Don't see too many of these around, guys, and this one is absolutely beautiful. And now, following our traditional format, we do like to cover the lunch segments. Sadly, we didn't get here until most of the cigarette teams had already eaten, but this is the cigarette owners' lunch. And a lot of the teams have already had their lunch and headed back out on the course. A handful of teams still here at the dock, including myself. There's the Flight 1130 Cigarette parked alongside that 39-foot Top Gun. And you can see there's a couple of old school boats here still. That's good. Stephen Barker with his 42X. And without a doubt, you're going to see some impressive center consoles like that Cigarette 52 Thunder that we just saw dockside at Grove Harbor. With the 6 Mercury Racing 500Rs. Of course, they were at the Fort Lauderdale show where it was on display. But just reminding everybody that we do have a number of different lunch stops on the Thursday run. You can see a bunch of boats off in the distance there as we catch up to Rick Regal. He's getting ready to put the hammer down on his Cigarette 42X, and he's good at that because once he gets this thing rolling, it's got twin Mercury Racing 1100 QC4 engines, and God, he just loves going fast. So got some nice conditions today for the final ride down. We're at about mile marker 97 here at Playa Largo Resort. This is an annual tradition to have the cigarette owners lunch here. And of course, they did a wonderful job with lunch. So these breakout lunch segments that we're doing really serve the Thursday format well because we have so many boats going on the run. So remember, we had close to 100 boats at Gilbert's for the Thursday. I think that needs to be more like 70. Honestly, guys, the boats have gotten so big. Of course, we had the Nortec owners lunch at Sundowners. We had the cigarette group here as we now see Frederick Purin pulling out in that super cool 36 Gladiator. And trust me when I say there's very few of these around, guys. I mean, I think we only have about 2 of them left in the club. I remember when we had 20 of them back in the day. But I really salute you guys that have the old school boats and want to keep that tradition alive here in the Florida Powerboat Club. If you want to get your hands on an older hull and redo it, that's the way to go, guys. I mean, all you got to do is get with Mercury Racing, get with your local Mercury dealer, get yourself a new set of crated engines, get yourself a good rigging shop like TNT or Performance Boat Center, and, you know, go to it. Make create something that's truly yours. And you can't buy these boats anymore new. You know, they won't build a boat like an old school Top Gun for you. So things like the Cigarette Rendezvous that has been taking place at Lake of the Ozarks for many, many years, thanks to Performance Boat Center, and more recently Big Thunder Marine, who staged the 2024 Rendezvous on Lake of the Ozarks. God, it's fantastic to get these old school Miami Vice kind of boats out on the water together with as we get up on plane now between Tori and myself. Look at that incredible footage we got on the drone as we depart from Playa Larga Resort. Doesn't get any better than that, guys. That is just beautiful stuff. We're going to take a quick break. At the beginning of the show, we introduced all of our series sponsors, but in addition, we had these feature sponsors join us for Key West. These are Adrenaline Powerboats, Dirty Money Racing, RWO Performance, Grove Harbor Marina, GSX Powerboats, Hydra Thunder Rentals, Legend Marine Group, Marine Technology Inc., Nextera Energy, Ox Diesel Outboards, Palmetto Yacht Management, Renegade Powerboats, Statement Marine, Superior Communications, Unique Custom Marine Vault, Wilson Custom Marine, and Wozencraft Finance and Insurance. We could not produce the Key West Poker Run at the high level we do without the support of these sponsors, so we want to thank them dearly. And we're going to get back up in the air now with the helicopter now, not the drone, as we catch up with Tron Scow, co-founder of Nortec High Performance Boats, with this Mercury Racing 500R showboat. It was on display at the Charleston, South Carolina launch of the Mercury Racing 500 back in June. And this is basically Nortec's demo for 2023 to showcase the new Nortec 400 Super Sport. And what's different about the 400 than the 390? Well, the differences are subtle if you're just looking at the boat like we are now. But if you get on board, you'll see that they've completely changed out the cockpit, the seating, and they've really made an incredible model with this 400 Super Sport. And that's why Raymond and Peter Roberts have one. They're the dealer from Canada, RWO Performance. It's called the Stooges, and they share the ownership of that boat with a couple of other club members, including Kenny and Pierre and Megan Brousseau, who own a marina on Georgian Bay. But all of these guys have homes in Cape Coral, so there's a big Canadian contingent there throughout the winter months, and most of them own Nortec. So a good gang to hang out with. They've got this boat loaded up. What have they got? About 15, 18 people on board. Everyone's comfortable. Guys, that's why you want to own a center console. Otherwise, how are you going to tell your friends they can't go with you because you don't have a place for them to sit? Well, now you got it. And it looks like we're going to continue this Nortec factory segment here. Nortec's updated factory demonstration video, especially with this 400 Super Sport, because it really is one of their newest models, and everybody wants to get their hands on one of these 400 Super Sports for so many reasons. If you've owned a bunch of 390s, which a lot of these people have, it's a natural progression to get into a 400 Super Sport. And if you get to see one of these boats closer at a poker run or at one of the boat shows, you'll see why it's just done differently. This particular boat does not have the two forward rows of seating, which for me wouldn't work, but the two forward rows are really the ideal way to set this boat up if you do poker runs. But Gary and Nancy don't seem to have any problem. They've got that big Club Sport seat in the back. You can see all four of the people seating facing forward, and still plenty of seating. Nobody's sitting up front right now, probably because it's just a little bumpy here in these offshore conditions running from Marathon down to Key West. And a very special welcome to Greg Gutka, who is a native of Hawaii. Team KEKOA would explain that. But he's also got a place in Lake of the Ozarks. He's got his buddies Evan, Eric, and Shane riding along. And some of the advantages of being military, guys, he's got his 32-foot Sensation Dominator. But in his video bio, he revealed to me that he actually stayed at the Navy Lodge at Trumbull Point, and they docked the boat, get this, at the Key West Naval Air Station at Boca Chica. So clearly this is a military-only privilege, and they said it was truly amazing. And from a 32-foot Sensation to this big wave-crushing 43-foot Everglades with 4 Yamaha outboards. This is Chris Hanna, Palmetto Yacht Management, actually one of our sponsors. And look at the size of this beast with the big tower. God, this is a wave crushing machine, probably weighs in, I'm guessing, close to 35, maybe 40,000 pounds. And great having Chris and his team join us. Of course, they are a sponsor of the event, and they earned that sponsorship privilege by helping me out with my 2023 summer tour with the cigarette. They manage a lot of the driving and transportation logistics because that's what their company does, Palmetto Yacht Management. They work for a lot of the big builders and they transport boats all over the United States. So they're fully licensed and insured, and they know all the ins and outs of moving these big boats around the country. So they made my summer poker run tour possible. So thanks, guys, and glad you're able to join us for Key West. We have arrived here in Key West Harbor, and there is a lot going on. It's late in the afternoon on Thursday on this beautiful November day. Remember, the sun goes down at about 5:30 p.m., so it's probably a little after 4 p.m. now as the helicopter cruises over the Conch Republic Seafood Company. You can see that the boats are starting to get in. Of course, we are going to completely fill up that basin in a matter of time with all of our sponsors being there. Looking straight down now also at A&B Marina, and off in the distance that is the GALEON Marina. You can see a little bit of Key West Bight off to the left. And back now down here at dock level, you can see that a number of boats have come in and getting settled in for the evening. A little bit of a breeze here still today, but all of the leading brands, all of our sponsors that are represented here with the Florida Powerboat Club, both our series sponsors and then of course some of our feature sponsors who have come on board for the Key West run. But the docks are always crowded here. I think we need to put up the barricades here, guys, on Thursday, because if you come in here and you're trying to tie your boat up or get your crew off the boat and out with your luggage out to get a cab or get to your hotel, forget about it. You're not going anywhere. But off there at the end is the cigarette lineup. I snuck my cigarette Top Gun in alongside some of the other cigarettes. I think that is the 41 SD. And then Nortec are filling up their row, and here's the MTI row with an SV50 and a 440X. And of course in the front row, just a mixed bag of all of our main manufacturing sponsors. I see the GSX Powerboat Center Console. There's the Metal Shark Marine powered by Hawks Marine Diesels, thanks to Captain Brian, who is our safety boat for the event. A couple of brand new deep impacts in the corner, 399s with Quad Mercury Racing 500s. And I mentioned earlier that you're going to see Nortec and Legend Marine Group here, not only in the water but also on land. Over 20 exhibitors in total for the entire Poker Run Village. Remember that we're sponsored by Mercury Racing. We've got a big night planned, a lot of entertainment on the agenda tonight as we start to fill up and the night falls. And the Conch Republic Seafood Company comes alive with just a bustling crowd and a lot of entertainment up on the main stage. Guys, well, I'll just leave it at that and you guys can enjoy the show. Well, guys, I think you get the picture that, yes, indeed, it is a Key West tradition to have the Bodypainting Expo. Congratulations to these lovely ladies, including Miss Abby on the right, who was one of our top 3 finalists. Well, guys, going to change it up a bit now and fast forward to Saturday morning. Remember that Friday was a race day, so there wasn't really much poker run activity with our FPC boats. So we're just going to jump ahead to Saturday morning, another beautiful day here in Key West. Remember, we've got helicopters booked all morning and most of the afternoon, so Let's get to it, and the early bird gets the worm. It's Sean and Shelby Axcommit in their Skater 388, and it's been a very busy year for them with Florida Powerboat Club. Whoa, as they got some nice air off that roller. But they got started way back in January doing the winter run, and they have been busy all year long doing several poker runs with us. And to keep things exciting, they got married first week of November, just before the poker run at Playa Largo Resort in Key Largo. So this is their honeymoon, guys. Congratulations to Sean and Shelby. And from high-speed cat to performance cruiser. Now, I told you that Mike Chisuli's new 38 GALEON could run, and indeed it does. We saw it dockside earlier, and you probably wondered, well, why is this cruiser on the poker run? Well, check it out with those twin Mercury 600 V12s, and really, it's a great handling boat. Mike got it out and put it through the paces here, heading out to Woman Key, and you can see that he's not holding back at all. Got the hammer down, and this boat will cruise 45 miles an hour, maybe 50 miles an hour. So really just an ideal poker run boat if you want to bring the whole gang. Remember, they had about 8 people, maybe even more, on board for the ride down to Key West. And time for another factory sponsor showcase as we catch up with Team Concept. Here's the factory entered boat, Eric Vivila at the helm of this Concept 4400, the first one with 5 Mercury Racing 500s. They've never done it before, but obviously, you know, more is better, right, guys? And we have seen so many variations of this 4400 model throughout the course of the year, and it's just amazing the different paint jobs and how 2 of the same model boat can essentially look very, very different as they put these boats through the paces here in this rough chop here offshore from Key West Harbor, heading out towards Woman Key today. And this is a company from Miami that started it all back when everybody thought a center console was just a fishing boat. They came out with their 4400 model at the Miami Boat Show, and everybody just stood and looked at this massive 44-foot boat, and they wondered, what is it? And now everyone wants one. They really were one of the pioneers and the leaders and the front runners, really, of getting the hype for this center console market. Isaac Burgos from Cape Coral with his beautifully painted Concept 4400 model. Gotta love this boat. It just has the most incredible graphics, and it is a full cabin edition, so there's a tremendous amount of space down below with air conditioning and all of the creature comforts of home. And for those of you who follow the Concept line, of course, the 4400 being the flagship of the fleet up until now, because they do have a new 53 in the works. There's a couple being built right now at the factory in Miami. We look forward to seeing those in 2025. And a couple more things I want to mention about the Concept factory. They are a family-run company. They have been for going on 37, 38 years. But one thing that they do that a lot of companies are starting to catch on is they do an annual owners rendezvous or rally. And for many years it's been to Key West, but this is the first year they're going to be running it over to the Bahamas in July. So we look forward to coverage of that event. FPC is going to be doing the video production. Well, guys, I know how much you love the eye candy. We're going to make it ear candy now as we catch up with Frank Sheelan in his 36-foot Nortex Super Cat. Big 700s with stage 3 Whipples. An amazing beast, and she's loud and proud. Let's listen in. And let's welcome back Peter and Carolyn Fink from Nebraska. They've been on this run a number of times. Lovely couple. I always enjoy saying hi to them. Team's Size Matters is their newest entry to their many MTIs that they've owned over the years, cats and V-bottoms. This, of course, is an SV50 5 MERCURY Racing 500Rs, and just a massive machine. And I've mentioned this in some earlier videos of this coverage of this Key West event, that MTI did set a record for SVI 50s here at this event. I think they had 8 or possibly 9 registered for the event, which is truly incredible, not to mention the array of 42s and how many different cat models, 34s, 39s, and 44s also on the event, and even a handful of 48 MTIs, a stern drive QC4 engine. So really, when you say MTI, you're saying a lot of things. They've got an extensive lineup of boats in all categories, and they've done an incredible job in this sport. They're going to be winning the Manufacturers Cup for top representation here on this event. And now, continuing coverage of MTI, we've got Dennis and Amanda Phillips putting on a great show in Team Clean Money 2024 MTI 440X. They're from St. Petersburg, Florida, and they really have been enjoying the MTI brand as well. They've had other cats that they've enjoyed on these poker runs, but this, of course, being their newest ride, but a brand new boat, 2024 with Twin MERCURY Racing 500Rs. So really, this an ideal way to showcase the MTI product line here as we catch up with these MTI owners heading out to Woman Key. It's their second year in a row for Dennis and Amanda. They've done other events with the club, and they always make a point of saying wonderful things about our FPC team. They actually said in their video bio, FPC is top-notch on all events they host, all accommodations. Make it simple to join in any event. Well, Dennis and Amanda, we thank you for joining us, and we can't wait to see you guys again. Well, this episode was really loaded with a lot of beautiful video footage of this Key West event featuring the Thursday run and now the Saturday fun run out to Woman Key. We're going to have plenty more of that in our future episodes as we return, guys. But remember, you're not going to see it if you don't subscribe to the channel, because you'll get an update and a notification every time a new episode is released. So hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell, and you're going to get more Key West episodes coming down the pipeline, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Be sure to check out the website at flpowerboat.com for all of the details about upcoming poker run events in 2021, as well as membership information. You can follow us on Facebook at Florida Powerboat Club and on these Instagram pages. Thanks to all of our viewers for your wonderful comments on our page, and you guys know who you are, and I really do appreciate that. But if you have questions or comments you want to direct to me specifically, please use my personal email at stu@flpowerboat.com. I check that daily, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. We're going to sign off for now. This is Stu Jones along with our producer Ryan McCoy in the Pompano Beach studio. Have fun out there, guys. Be safe on the waterways. Wear your life jackets when the time is right, and always respect your fellow boaters. Bye for now.